Hi Lisa, can you please comment on what it was like for you when you became enlightened, realized your enlightenment? What were the circumstances? What did it feel like? Thanks. Megan. It felt like I was falling out of my eyes. Like my I am and my looking, my essence, it felt like it was falling out of my eyes. Like it just grew so big. I felt like I was in here, and then it just went poof into everything. It felt like an expansion. And it came from me being incredibly brave and not following everything I've been told I should follow, but following my passion, which was non-duality at the time. And prior to that was I was a theatre playwright, and everyone had told me these were things I couldn't do. I was dyslexic. So it came from really being very brave for many years, the whole of my 20s, pushing myself to my limits, constantly pushing and pushing and pushing to my edges, the edges of what defined me. It was incredibly scary. I never knew where I was going. I didn't know what the end point would be. And my personality is still like that. I still do it in the personality form. I'm still pushing Lisa, the character, to expand and to grow and to learn new things. But this shift is always there. Like that shift of being Lisa to not being Lisa. Or it's not that it's always there. That's a really hard point to talk about. It's like, I don't like saying that it's always there. That, I don't, there was just a profound shift, and then after that, yeah, this all becomes indescribable. Like the person, the mind, wants you to be able to describe it in a distinct way and say it was always there, or it always shifted, or it was always like this. But then after that thing happened, I can't get all that into words. Let me try my best. I can't sum up that. But this shift happened, and it felt like a big expansion. And then after that I'm left wordless. And actually trying to put that into words just doesn't feel right in my body when I try to say it. It's always like this or always like that. Because my experience now is this vast whole and this expansion. So this vast whole and then this expansion, and then in that there's this character arising and disappearing, this Lisa character that comes and goes. And this Lisa character is what you can talk about. So that vast hole, that full stopness, you can't talk about. And that vast hole and that expansion, I can't say from that position it's always here, because it doesn't exist in time. The Lisa exists in time. So I can't express that part to you, because that part is nothing's happening. That part is non-expressible. And I know this seems so hard to comprehend. Until you've had these big awakenings, you can't know what I'm talking about. But if you have, then you'll appreciate me trying to get this into words. And then the Lisa character comes and goes and says that it's always there or not always there, and that's irrelevant, because that's in the Lisa character. And the Lisa character tries to look in time for if it's been there the whole time, and she shouldn't even be looking in that world, because it doesn't belong to her. In that world, it's all about hunting and gathering and survival. Like, Lisa is interested in survival, and interested in being Lisa, and interested in fulfilling Lisa's pleasures and pains. She can't talk about whether she always experiences it, because that's not that world. So in the memory, in the Lisa world, there cannot be a looking to see in that Lisa world if there's always enlightenment, or if there's always this or always that. So you hear some teachers say, yes, it's always like this now, or some that won't answer it, because you can't. You're mixing up two different worlds. Once that world's been expressed, and that expansion's happening, then it can't always be here, because, and it can't live in that world of what we say is always being here, or I've experienced that for the last 7 years, or Lisa is always awake, because it's not the same worlds. Lisa isn't enlightened, and so if you ask Lisa in her world, she can't express that sort of thing to you. She can say, well, it seems like it's here all the time, but that's an inaccuracy, and that feels like a lie to her, because she can't say it in her world. And she wouldn't be able to tell if it is or isn't, or if she, or the identity is coming or not coming, because she can't do that. So, like, I had a friend who was really into Tony Parsons, and in Tony Parsons' world, or in the Neo-Advaita, not just Tony Parsons, but in this more Neo-Advaita, it's like the self is gone, and that self doesn't exist anymore. And yeah, maybe they could be above my realization, that's what they would say, but to me that doesn't make sense. From here, that doesn't make sense, to claim that it is here or isn't here. Neither seems like it can be claimed. There is this clear seeing, but the clear seeing is clear seeing and doesn't move in time. That clear seeing it feels wrong on the human level to say it's always in my experience. So to say it is or isn't kind of feel very similar in the human world. I tried both on after the awakening. Like, it is always in my experience, it isn't always in my experience, and neither felt right, neither fitted. To the mind, that sounds bad, that sounds like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, but maybe the fact that I can't describe it is the most profound thing. The fact that I'm unwilling to sit in either world is maybe really profound. Because if you think about it, you can't think about it. But maybe the humility of that is really a beautiful thing.